Thank you, everybody. Now we are on. So do you think Liz might know everybody was trying? She said if any text her, she knows. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Debbie. You will. Okay, give me 1 second and then we will be ready to go. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being patient and I think we can go ahead and get started.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Please do the roll call.
Jim,
Present.
Don,
Here.
Phil,
Here.
John, is he excused? Chris,
Here.
Marita is excused, and Heather.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any amendments to the agenda for today's meeting? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have any amendments to the minutes from the previous meeting? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you have any public comments that are unrelated to agenda items for today's meeting? Hearing none, we'll move on. There's nothing on the consent calendar. We have two public hearing items. The first is a recommendation to the Borough Assembly regarding an application from David Mazzella to purchase borough-owned property at 1009 Oslog, or Augusta Street, sorry. We have any public testimony? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend to the Borough Assembly that Lot 8, Block 255, Plat 69-53 be approved for sale to the Mazzellas, based on the proceedings of findings of fact.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
I just had a quick question.
Yes,
Could,
Liz.
could you repeat that motion? I'm sorry. Sorry.
I move to recommend to the Borough Assembly that Lot 8, Block 255, Plat 69-53 be approved for sale based on the proceedings, findings of fact. The Planning Commission makes the following report. Then there's list of the findings of fact.
Yeah, okay. No, I thought you had said to Mazzella.
I did,
Okay,
so
but
I shouldn't have.
no,
I
I
guess.
I just wanted to clarify whether that was in or out. That's
Okay.
all I'm trying to do. If it's in, it's in. If it's
I
not,
guess
it's
it was
not.
because there was two different applications. and
Yeah.
So I thought we were addressing the one by David Mazzella first.
Right, we are.
Okay, so that's why the first time I so stipulated.
Okay, so it's not included in your motion, right? Or it is included?
Well, I guess it's, is it appropriate for it to be included since there are two applications that will include that lot? And we are only addressing the Mazzella's application at this juncture. So I guess I'm looking at you, Liz, for clarification of how I should have handled it.
Well, you're specifying the lot. So when I heard you say that, I thought you meant that it should be, you're recommending a direct sale to the Mazzellas. If that's what your intent was,
And
then,
since I thought that was the only application we were taking up at this point, that's why I added it. But I'm happy to withdraw that portion.
no,
If it
I'm
keeps
not
the
trying to,
proceedings going.
I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other. I just want to clarify if your motion is this lot should be put up for sale and that's the end of it, or this lot should be put up for sale directly to these people. I guess that's all I'm trying
Direct
to
sale to
clarify.
the Mazzellas.
Okay,
Thank
that's all
you.
I'm trying to clarify.
Discussion? Anybody have any comments, questions?
Did my motion?
I don't
get
know if you get a second. Yeah.
Oh, I second.
Okay.
Okay.
It just looks to me like the Mazzellas want to expand on their home. They need the land behind them for that. It looks like it is in their backyard. And they have plans to stay in that neighborhood with the improvements that they want to do. So I thought this looked good to me.
That would be my comment too, is that this lines up with adjacent property owners having first right of refusal, or however you want to say it. What I'm hearing around the community is a lot of people don't realize that these borough lands touching their properties are even available to even discuss, let alone purchase. So it's good that I guess this is coming forward. Other people are aware of it.
Thank you. Have any further comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Heather,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Philip,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, moving on to recommendation to the Borough Assembly regarding an application from Greg and Heidi Johnson to purchase borough-owned property at 1001 to 1017 Augusta Street and lots 2 to 5, block 288, Scenic View, unrecorded subdivision. Do I need to specify all the numbers in there, Liz, or, okay, thank you. Do you have any public testimony? If so, please step up and state your name.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Lamb. I live at 1004 Lake Street. We submitted a letter, but I didn't see it in there, so I thought I'd just step up here and say, we also wanted to buy the property behind us, and we were unaware that you could just put in an application and try for it. So we're just asking that you sell the lots individually, so we have a chance to like bid with him or whatever, because we were unaware. That's all we're asking. Thank you.
Any other testimony?
Hi, my name's Joel Randrup. I live on 116 Lake Street, here representing myself. I guess I'm old fashioned in the fact that what I see here, what they're requesting, I mean, I don't see a plan for anything. You know, when the big lot of property was sold, like PIA, they worked a long time on that. I think that's 8th Street, or whatever that street is going to the ball field by the church there and stuff. You know, and then President Chris Morrison came before the assembly and presented what they thought their vision of for that property was and everything. You know, they didn't necessarily meet with all the neighbors, but they seem to have a plan. I don't see much of a plan here with this presentation from these people. They didn't really come around and let anybody know what was kind of going on. And it takes me back a little bit when it's like an all or nothing for that. I'm not sure if they know exactly what it would take to bring all that up to sellable lots, and then what the price would be for the lots themselves. So I'm not really excited about seeing them get this property for that. I live on way on the other side of the street, so it's not going to affect my backyard. But I do, of course, wouldn't like to see something go up that's very expensive and sits there. I haven't gotten to talk to every department head. I've talked to a couple, but not all of them. You know, there's things like maybe a pump station would be, and I don't want to speak out of turn like I know how to build a road or how to run utilities. I do not. But I don't know if they've explored every avenue of what's going to have to go into chunks of muskeg and how well that would be at, you know, it would be a lot different, like I said, if a knock on the door and say, hey, this is our vision for your neighborhood. This is what we see. This is what we thought we'd do with these lots. especially affecting the neighbors that it's right behind them. So I didn't see that, or at least I didn't get a knock on my door. But I'd like to leave you with too, that I do agree that it is not common knowledge that since these are lots that you can purchase, that other people may want that. And property owners that are affected, I think be really more fair for them to be able to have the first right of refusal. So that's something that I think could be good for the property owners themselves. If they don't want to do it, then that's fine. But that's pretty much all I got. Thanks a lot for letting me speak.
Thank you. Any further testimony?
Wrestler. I live on the corner of Lake Street and Oslog. And I submitted a letter. I'm not sure if you've all read it, hopefully so, but I just wanted to repeat basically what Joel and the other person had said about that we did not know, were aware of the process for purchasing borough land. Like I said in my letter here, if my wife and I had known, we would have bought the property behind us years ago. So that's statement number one. Number two is, you know, like you said, there was no plan ahead of time about this. The first I knew about somebody wanting to build behind my home or purchase a property, excuse me, was the notice I got in the mail. And I live right there on the corner. So I guess that's all I have to say. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional testimony? Do we have a motion?
So I will entertain a motion so that we can discuss this. I move to recommend to the Borough Assembly the lots 6 through 10 Northeast subdivision, lots 2 to 5 unrecorded scenic view division be approved for sale.
Second?
Motion is dead, then it's no second. I did want to mention that I agree that if they said all or nothing, and since we already have suggested that Mazzella family get the other lot, that would negate their all or nothing. And the fact is they didn't give us any plans as far as what they want to do with the property. It kind of like personally disturbs me, because are they just going to improve, put a road in there and sit on it? And so there is other land available, as people have said. So that was just what I wanted to say.
I had a question too. When they first put in their application, they just wanted the upland lots. And then they later amended it after the Mazzella's application came in to include the the ones behind the Mazzellas and the, those that have homes on Lake Street. So when I looked at their original application and it says building, you know, what local, state or federal permits are required for the proposed use, they've said building permit for dwelling. So I wasn't really sure by that language, was this going to be a subdivision and it was going to be buildings? Or was it going to be a dwelling, like where they would do one big structure? Granted, it might require a zoning change or whatever down the road, I don't know. But I couldn't tell from that if they're trying to sell lots, you know, those, because they aren't divided up as of yet. They're
One
just
side
a
of the street,
block.
one side of the street is, the other
Yeah,
side
yeah, the
isn't.
side of
Yeah.
the street where people live
Right.
adjacent. But their original application was just for the ones upland of that, and it's just one block. It's not divided into lots on my paperwork here yet. So I wasn't sure if they were just looking at one development of one specific thing, or if they were going to come in later and subdivide and hope to sell properties to future homeowners or what?
I don't know if this clarifies, but on the back of the second page of the application, it says narrative on use of property. And that's what I keyed in on. Says we plan to develop the lots and either sell the developed lots to people who want to complete their own home construction, build homes, and there's a comma in there, build homes and sell the lot and the home, comma, build homes and rent them, comma, or a combination of all three. So that kind of painted a picture in my mind of
Okay.
pretty big development.
I probably read that the first time and not today.
And I'd just say it this time, like, on paper, this is exactly what a lot of people want to see somewhere in Petersburg, is rentals, houses, property available. I just don't know that this property is the one based on the public. I think there are better places around the peninsula.
You know, I do support growth in the town. I think the city could use a larger tax base always. Since we lost 42 lots to the hospital that were primed and ready to go, I do support the property owners that live along there. I would like to see them have a chance at buying the individual lots first. Just for some history in that area, and although not exactly in the area, but my mom who lives on Wrangell Avenue, when they rebuilt Wrangell Avenue and dug down the hard pan, and they came in behind the house and built the pool and that existing road, it drained all the water out of the area. And so the houses that were built back in the 70s that were on natural piling, when the ground shrunk and exposed all the piling into the foundations and rotted out the piling. And there was a number of people that had to redo their foundations because of that. So I don't know exactly when those homes were built, back in the 70s maybe. If they're sitting on a concrete foundation of any kind, chances are they're probably on piling. There is a potential for that. Just in support of them, I'd like to, obviously Dave is not going to build a road into the property. He's coming through the front of his property, but new development would require a road.
Right, and that's a lot smaller scope of development.
Yeah,
compared
much
to-
smaller scope of development, and the property would still be owned by residents, which would be paying taxes on it, which would help the city, so, yeah.
Any further discussion? All right. Moving on to non-agenda items. Any commissioner comments? Liz, staff comments?
Our next meeting is April 8th. We have agenda items, so hopefully all of you can make it.
I'm planning on being here.
Great, thank you.
Here.
Okay, so we've at least got a quorum. Good. All right. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.